Okay, thanks for coming and welcome to my first ever full-day seminar focusing exclusively on the Forex markets. And congratulations on signing up early. As you may know or may not know, the seminar sold out within 2 weeks. And in fact, we still have a crowd waiting outside to get in, but they've been there a long time. Look at the hats. So Forex trading has become one of the most popular forms of trading recently. It's interesting, and it's actually, there's lots of reasons why the 24-hour market, few markets to monitor. I mean, think about it in equities, how many thousands of stocks are there, but in the Forex is few crosses or pairs. The leverage, and the highest amount or percentage of speculators are in the Forex market. I've heard statistics, something like 90% of the Forex market is speculation. And the standard chart in Forex trading and currency trading is the candlestick chart. But most people don't know how to use them, or even better for you, people misuse them. They think they know how to use them. And one of the goals today is showing you some of the misuses of candles. How many are new to candlesticks here? Okay. How many trade intraday? Okay, usually it's at least half on the Forex side. Swing trading, in other words, from a day to 2 weeks, should be probably the rest of you. Anybody do anything longer term in Forex? No. That's why the candles are absolutely perfect for Forex trading. Candlesticks, and by the way, I use the word candles and candlesticks interchangeably. My website is calendcharts.com. And candlesticks are really geared for short-term trading, including intraday to swing trading. In other words, anything from a day to a couple of weeks. Interesting how the candlesticks have become so popular in the Forex market now. When I started to do the research in the candles in 1989, well, actually my first book came out in 1989 BC, and of course we know BC means before candlesticks. At 2 in the morning, that's going to be really, really funny. But when I started to do my research in the 1980s, I was on the future side. I used to work for E.F. Hutton and Merrill Lynch, and my job was giving trade recommendations over what back then, I don't know if it's still around, it's called the hoot and holler. Essentially, I'd be in New York, and I'd pick up a phone, and all the commodity offices within the U.S. would have an open phone line, essentially just a speaker, and they would hear my trade recommendations. And the most technically savvy traders in the 80s were futures traders, because back then, it was really the only market that had really high volatility. I mean, think about equities in the 1980s, right? Equities were on par with bonds. No plain words there, par and bonds. But they were both very relatively conservative trading vehicles as far as speculation is concerned. So the most technically sophisticated analysts, as far as technical analysis was concerned, are on the futures side. And they were the first to pick up the candlesticks, because a lot of futures traders were in and out very, very quickly. Then, during the bull market in the 90s, when day trading became very popular, speculation became very popular, the candles really picked up steam at that point. And now, the same thing with the Forex market. And I've done many, many seminars. Most of my work has been for doing on-site seminars for institutional clients, Fidelity, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, the list goes on and on. Money managers, hedge funds, market makers, and so forth. And also in that group were Forex traders. And I especially did a lot of seminars pre-Euro, okay, when there were a lot of Forex trading shops around, Deutschmark and all that when that was trading. And I still do quite a bit of seminars for Forex trading shops. And everything I'll be doing today can be especially geared to the Forex market. Now, some of you may be aware I'm the author of a few books on candlesticks. Okay, 3 books actually. So far, they've sold over 100,000 copies. And I tell people, if you ever think of writing a book for money, don't do it. It's really good for your reputation. I would suggest if you're in an industry where you want to get your name out, write a book, because then they get see author of, as though that means anything, right? It's like you go to a store and it says, as seen on TV. Why does that make it more credible? You pay a few bucks and you have an advertisement on TV, as seen on TV. But for some reason, it helps your reputation. And speaking of books, just to let you know, all my newest information over the last, I'd say, 5 years is revealed only in my live seminars or my DVD workshops, which are taken from my live seminars. When I was doing my books, I was working at brokerage firms, so I had a salary. So everything I knew went into the books. Not that way anymore. So the books, I like to say, on a knowledge level from 1 to 10, will take you to about a 2 or a 3. But the strategies, the tips and tricks really are revealed only at my live seminars. What I'll be doing today is revealing many of the same strategies I teach to my institutional traders. What our shop does is we do on-site seminars, and we have a custom advisory service where our institutional clients would ask us specific markets for us to analyze on a daily basis. And the idea is you're going to be able to take away these trading strategies and apply them immediately on the next trading session. The goals here are twofold: to make this one of the most, I think it'll be one of the most important technical analysis seminars you'll ever have on Forex trading. And secondly, to make it as entertaining as possible. Okay, as I mentioned, most of my seminars are given for institutional traders, and I do them at the end of the day when they're really tired, 4:30, 5 o'clock. So I had better make them not only informative, so they have me back year after year, but interesting. So we'll be using a lot of cartoons. I have custom-made cartoons, Japanese proverbs. After all, these are Japanese candlestick charts. Humor. Some of you may laugh at my jokes. Some of you may not. And there's a great, speaking of proverbs and humor, there's a wonderful Japanese proverb, and it says about somebody laughing. He's laughing so hard. It's they say to boil tea with one's navel. And you have to think about it. He's laughing so hard, his belly button is moving so fast, he's boiling tea. He or she is boiling tea. I think that's a wonderful proverb. Now, I had mentioned before, for those who have my first book, Japanese Candlestick Charting Techniques, at the beginning of each book I have a proverb. And believe me, it took me a long time to get all these proverbs. I had books translated. I had 13 books translated from Japanese to English, and also proverb books. And in fact, speaking of translations, I had alluded to the fact that people are misusing the candlesticks. And this is twofold. This is for people who have not read about the candles, and even for people who've read about the candles, there's a lot of misinformation out there. And it's a real credit to you that you've taken the time and effort to come here to learn how to correctly use it, because if you think about it, I am the only one, first of all, since I'm the one who revealed candles to the Western world, okay, I'm the source of all the candlestick information. If you look at the back of my books, my first 2 books, you'll see